Alright, so today I got all these in the mail today, which I got me some VHS tapes, some DVDs, some books, some Dreamcast games, and some music CDs as well. And I got all these from Suruga-Ya's website, which this is my 12th order from that store. So anyways, I'm going to show you what I got today. First off, the VHS tapes. Here's Beavis and Butthead Innocence Lost, which I already have this on VHS, the North American edition. And now I have a Japanese copy of it. In fact, I still have it right here. And I got this at a flea market back 2015. So now I have it in Japanese. As you can see here, it says it's subtitled, like it's not dubbed. In fact, the show never got dubbed, except for its video game called Virtual Stupidity. So here's the tape and the registration card. Here's Toy Story 2, the Japanese edition. And this one's like Japanese dubbed. And this is not the subtitle edition, but it's Japanese dubbed. And I think I saw this in theaters when I was a year old. Which, this is my all-time favorite Toy Story movie. Next to the first movie, that is. So here's the tape. Although this one doesn't have the Toy Story 2 logo on it, but just has the Walt Disney Home Video logo on it for some reason. The logo's right here. And that's it for the VHS tapes. Now on for the DVDs. Here's H and Ica, which I just got into this series like a month ago. And I really love this character named Rion, which I love me some female characters with glasses, of course. So here's the disc and the booklets. Here's South Park Big Longer and Uncut, which I already had this movie on VHS and DVD, and now I have a Japanese copy of it. And this movie was my first R-rated movie I've ever seen, which I think I seen in theaters when I was a year old. Although I've been watching South Park since I was like a year old, so you can tell I had a long history with that show. So here's the DVD. And now on for the books. So here's Maid Skater, which is about maids doing skateboarding. And this one's coming out in English later this year too, which I can't wait for that. So I'm going to show you the pages. Here's Akagi Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Which, I've been wanting to read the manga series of Akagi for years, since I actually love this series. And of course, I love me some Mahjong too. It's a pretty fun series as well, that I highly recommend checking out, if you haven't yet. So I'm going to show you the pages of the first volume. Oops. The second volume. And the third volume. Here's Pop Team Epic, which I never read the manga before, but I like the anime. So here's some of the pages. Oh, this one's the first page. The first sketch. Here's Oshigoto, which looks like a pretty cool manga. I do love the main character in this one. She looks pretty cool. So I'm going to show you the pages for that one. And that's all for the books. Now on to the Dreamcast games. So here's Evolution, which looks like a pretty cool RPG. from the gameplay videos. So here's the disc and the spine card. Here's Virtual Fighter 3 TB, or I think it's called 3 Team Battle. I think that's what TB stands for. So here's the game disc, the spine card. Oops, I need to close it. And the special disc. Although the only Virtual Fighter games I played was Virtual Fighter 2 and Virtual Fighter 4. So I guess I'll give the series some love this time, since I've been in a fighting game mood lately. Like, I've been playing a lot of Soul Calibur and Dead or Life lately. And here's Shenmue, which I never played any of the Shenmue games before, but I've heard they're the best. I want to show you the game first. Oops. So here's disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, and the passport disc. And here's the soundtrack CD, which here's the disc, which I think it's supposed to be the soundtrack CD. And now on to some music CDs. So here's Flash Papa Menthol, which I think this is supposed to be like a remake of the Flash Papa album from 1991. This one's from 1992. Although the original one was kind of pricey, like $8, but this one's like $4 on Suruga-Ya. Although this one has like the remake for Cafe de Oni, the Kanari Omoshiro Ikao mix, which this one's actually the best remix for Cafe de Oni, honestly. I like that remix. So here's the disc. Here's Heroes and Friends by Randy Travis. And from what I've researched on Discogs, this one appears to be the only Randy Travis album to ever have a Japanese release. So here's the disc. And here's Randy Travis with the other country musicians. The legendary country musicians. But yeah, this one appears to be the only Randy Travis album from what I've researched on Discogs. Here's Analog Worms Attack by Mr. Oizo, which I actually got into this musician like a month ago, and he's pretty cool. So here's the disc and the spine card. By his mascot is named Flat Eric, which he looks like pretty cool. He looks like a pretty cute mascot. The way he talks in analog. Here's From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy, which I already have Take This to Your Grave, which is one of the best Fall Out Boy albums of all time. And now I have From Under the Cork Tree, the Japanese edition. So here's the disc and the spine card. And last but not least, here's Everything I Love by Alan Jackson, which is another Alan Jackson CD I got, which is a Japanese edition, which I already have a Japanese edition of Who I Am. And I have a Japanese copy of this album. So here's the disc. Just for an edit, I actually just got into Ica a few months ago. That's what I meant. Not like a month ago, a few months ago. But it's still a pretty cool series. And as for Alan Jackson, only a few Alan Jackson CDs had a Japanese release. I'll show you right here. Yeah, these appear to be the only Alan Jackson albums that had a Japanese release, according to the Japanese lyric booklet. And that's what I got from Suruga-Ya today. Well, just want to show you what I got in the mail today from Suruga-Ya. So that's all for right now, and thanks for watching. Let me show you my pickups one more time.